Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. João here. So today we are going to start solving some Python program, okay, for beginners. So the first question that we have is this one, okay. With the help of the flowchart, create a Python program to read two numbers and find their sum. So here we have one flowchart that can help us how we can create this same program that allow us to read two numbers and find their sum, okay. Apart of this, we have also some tips that we can use to help us in solving this same problem. So these programs, okay, this Python exercise for beginners, okay, is especially for those who are start learning Python and still having some kind of doubt, okay. So this, you can use this exercise so that you can practice Python more, okay, and you can be more familiar with Python. And this also good, also can help you, okay, to build your logical thinking, okay, by solving this same exercise. So that's why we have this flowchart. Flowchart will help us to follow, okay, the flow of the program, how the program must be built, how the program must be created, okay. So that's why we have a flowchart, and we have some tips that can help us, okay, to use some kind of Python stuff that will help us to solve this same exercise, okay. So without talking too much, let's jump into our VS Code so that we can start solving our first exercise. See, if you are someone who start learning Python and you want to practice Python code, this ebook that I create, okay, will help you to practice Python with a visual flowchart. So I create this book so that you can create Python, okay, you can practice Python, okay. So there are a lot of topics that this same ebook cover, okay, but this is more recommended for beginners in Python or for those who start learning Python itself. So there are a lot of exercises that you can solve. You can go through this, okay. The most of exercise, it has some of flowchart, so that will help you to understand the program and to build your logical thinking. So apart of that, this same ebook, okay, there are kind of tips that will help you, okay, to remember about some Python topics that you can use while solving this same problem, this same exercise. So there are a lot of exercises, okay, more than 30 exercises. As you can see, most of them, it has kind of different problem, different of challenge, okay. So you can practice Python by solving this same exercise. So I'll keep the link of this ebook, okay, in the description of this video, so that you can go grab it and enjoy solving problems. So very well, now I am in my VS Code, okay. As you can see, this is our first exercise and this is my VS Code. So you can use any code interpreter that you wish, okay, but I'm going to use VS Code because it is very easy and very simple to work with it. So as we said, okay, our first problem is the following: with the help of the flowchart, create a Python program to read two numbers, okay. But the first thing that I need to do first is to create a new Python script. So I'm going to create a new Python script. I'll call it as exercise 1, okay, 01.py. Perfect. So now we have our script, okay. I'm going to minimize this so that I can concentrate more in the solution. So Ctrl B, boom, like this. So this is our equation, and this is the flowchart that I can use to help me, and the tips that also can use to help me solving this same problem. So the first thing that we need to do, as we can say, start the program. First, we need to read the input, okay, or the values from the user. So see, when you are solving any type of problem, okay, first try to solve it the simplest way possible, okay, the most simple way. Don't try to put like a complicated things in the beginning itself, okay. First try to solve it in the simple way, okay. Then after that, you'll start like making some change so that it can look more better. So how can I do this in the simpler way? So the program says, okay, a program to read the two numbers and find their sum, okay. So the first thing that we are going to do, okay, let's create kind of program, okay, just to read two numbers. So let me follow this, okay. Read A, B. So I'm just going to create a variable called like A, okay. This A will be, for example, I'm going to just give a number, okay. For now, A will be equal 10. Then I'm going to create another variable, will be B. B will be equal 20, okay. Then what is it, okay, sum equal A plus B. So sum equal A plus B. So I'm going to create a variable called sum. So this sum will be equal A plus B. Then what is it, okay, print sum. So now I need to print sum. Let me say print, open and close. What I'm going to print, I did a mistake. Print, what I'm going to print, I'm going to print sum, okay. Let's print sum. So let me increase some. I'm going to print sum. Let me say sum, okay, print sum. perfect, then stop. Okay, so this is a simple Python program, okay, without anything. Okay, so this is the simplest way that you can solve this program. So let me save and let me run to see what we have. Okay, so if I run this program, this is where we can see the output. As you can see, is equal 30 because 10 plus 20 is equal 30. Okay, so now let's try to make this program better. Okay, because it said, okay, create a Python program to read two numbers and find their sum. Okay, so if it is saying about to read, okay, we need to get the input from the user. Okay, because the program cannot be like this. Like this is kind of simple way, okay, of solving the things. So now, as he said, okay, we can use input and output. Okay, input and output, consider using input function to get the values entered by the user. So for that, let's say, okay, let me use here input open close. So what I'm going to say, let me say like enter the first number, enter the first number, enter the first number, okay, dot, and give me a space. Then the second one will be also the same thing. Just let me copy this guy. Okay, I'm going to copy it and boom, paste it. Okay, as you can say, input, enter the first number. Here, enter the second number, enter the second number. Okay, perfect. So now if I run this, okay, let me run this now again, run. As you can see, first let me close this, let me clear this, and if I run the program, what you say, enter the first number. So to enter the first number, I'm going to give, like, for example, again 10, enter the second number 20, boom, what you said he gave equal 10 20. Okay, so it's not summing, it's not how can I say, it's not doing addition. Okay, it's just concatenating the value. So as we know in Python, whatever number that we give, okay, by input, or we get by input, is considered as a string. Okay, so that's why there is a need for us to convert these values that we are getting from the input. So in order to do that, we can do something like this. Okay, so this here where we have entered the first numbers, we can do something like this. Okay, let me close this. We can come here and convert these numbers. Okay, so let me convert it into float, open, and close it. Okay, so this way, whatever number that it will get from this input, okay, it will be converted into float. Okay, so that's why we have here some tips that they said. Okay, tip for convert. Okay, explore how to convert input, which is usually string, okay, to numeric data types. For example, using float to convert string input to floating point. Okay, so that's what I did here. I'm going to use this to convert this value into float number. So I'm going to do the same for this guy. Okay, float, open, and let me come here and close. Perfect. So now I can try again. Okay, let me run again the program. Enter the first number. Okay, we have again enter the first number. So what the first number can I do? I'm going to give 10 and 20. Boom, as you can see now it's going 30.0. okay, so now the program is writing perfectly. Okay, but the way that is giving, okay, let's try to make it better. Okay, like change this result, not just giving by 30. Okay, itself, let least say, okay, the sum of blah 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 blah, it's equal to blah. Let's do something like this. Okay, so here, okay, and let's also change the variable name. Okay, so because when we are creating those things, okay, we need to start organizing our code, because like giving name of the variable like a and b is not a good. Okay, so let's change this to something like, okay, first number, first underscore number. Okay, so now we need to give now we need to kind of, okay, making our program looking better, okay, more readable, so that anyone can understand the thing, what's going on, for which purpose is the program. Okay, so that's why I said when you are creating those programs, when you are solving any program, okay, first start simple. Okay, solve it in the simplest way possible. Then when you get the result, okay, then start making some change. Okay, so that the program can be a good program. Okay, like changing the variables name, changing the input output, like start making small change so that it can start looking good, okay, and more easy to understand. So now let's change here. Okay, this will be the second number. Okay, second number. So now this will be, okay, first number plus second number. Perfect. Okay, now this way is more easy for us to understand. Okay, And here also in the top, let's do some kind of comment, okay, something like this, okay, program to sum two numbers, okay, or to add two numbers, program to add two numbers, okay. So like this, we are starting changing our things, okay. So now after that, okay, let's come here again also for them, sum equal first plus second, okay. Here where we have first plus second, we can keep it, but let's change this name here, okay, like sum is not a good name itself, okay. Let's call it, for example, at least like a result. I think is the better name, result, okay. So then after this, okay, let's change here also, let's remove this guy and put here like results, okay, save, perfect. Okay, now that we change the variable name, so it's more readable this way, and let me save this. So then after this, we need to do something more. Let me see, first number, second number, result, first number plus second number, perfect. Okay, and the next thing that we need to change now is the output, okay, the output message. Let's say something like this, okay. So here result, okay, I'm just going to remove this guy, but I'm going to keep print. I'm going to use f string, okay, to do something like this. Now let me do something like, okay, let's say the sum of here I'm going to open and close will be the first number, okay, plus then open and close again will be the second number, okay, it's equal, okay, equal, then here I'm going to put the last number, okay, the result itself. Now here I'm going to say results, okay. Now for this I'm going to put second number, then here I'm going to give like a first number, okay. So there are a lot of ways that you can solve this same problem, okay. So this is one of way that I found, okay, but you for sure when you try you will find another better way that you can solve this same problem, okay. So the way that I'm doing doesn't mean it's the correct way, no, because the way that I'm thinking is completely different that the way that you will be thinking, okay, for solving this same problem. So that's why we have some tips. So from these tips you can make a lot of change in this same program, okay. For example, the way that I'm solving this, I don't know if it's correct, I don't know if it's the better way or not, but it's kind of okay, normal way, okay. We can understand what the program does. For example, we have some comments to make us understand, and we have kind of good variable names, and also okay, a good print message, okay. So now let's try our results, save this, and if I run this guy, come here and top, and let's see, he said enter the first number. So the first number, what's the first number? Let's give 10. The second number, let's give 20. Boom, but he said the sum of 10 plus 20 equal 30. So this is how we can solve this problem, okay. So as I said, okay, there is a lot of way that you can solve this same problem, but this is the way that I found how to solve this problem, okay. So guys, this way we just solve our first Python exercise, okay. So if you want to get this same ebook that I'm using to solve this same exercise, okay, there are a lot of exercise problems here in this same ebook, okay. So you can find the link in the description of this same video, okay. I'll keep it there, so you can go and grab the same ebook and start solving your exercise, okay. So I'm staying here, my name is João, see you in the next video, bye bye.